Thank you for tuning in. Mr. Mitsubishi here. YouTube channel covers a lot of all new Outlander stuff, a lot of PHEV stuff. If you have not subscribed yet, please do so. Many more videos to flow. We'll test it all. Real life gas, electric range, quick charging options and everything else. So make sure you subscribe to that. But the video today is on MSRP pricing. I'll explain the MSRP and basically it's very exciting times for the PHEV owners who waited a long time, and those cars started rolling at a steady pace now, and we've delivered many more to come this month, and everybody's loving them. But there seems to be one common concern out there, and which is MSRP markups, or how some dealers call it market adjustment fee or market adjustment charge. Whatever that name means is just a markup on top of MSRP. Now, many people have reached out to me regarding those MSRP adjustments on comments and through my Mr. Mitsubishi website or emails asking, like, is that something dealerships can do or they can't, like what's going on? They waited for such long time just to find out they'll have to pay a lot more for the car. Nobody told them that, etc., etc. So I'm a big believer in full transparency when it comes to a car deal, so I don't think there should be any numbers hidden or any games played around that. So in this video, we'll have a look at a practical example to help you understand what the MSRP is. We'll do the full price breakdown on one vehicle. We'll use the fully loaded Outlander GT white with two-tone interior for that, and we'll also include the possible add-ons that could be added on. We'll include the tax here for BC, and we'll also factor in both rebates, federal that throughout the Canada everybody's getting, and provincial that's different for each province. So we'll have that later in this video, all price breakdown with taxes and everything, so you know clearly what's the MSRP on that vehicle, how you can figure it out, and if there's any price add-ons and what to expect from your dealer, so to speak. So right now, let's check out this. So basically, for 2023 PHEVs, luckily, there's not a lot of kind of like packages added and everything else. So it's kind of pretty easy to figure out the MSRP pricing, and especially also if you go on your Mitsubishi official build and price website, it's super easy to figure out from there. You just click and see, and then it's fairly well laid out, and you should not have any problems to understand the pricing and everything else. But we'll do also a practical example here in this video. So MSRP typically is considered the base price of the vehicle before option packages, paint add-ons, freight and PDI, and etc. Now, luckily for the PHEV, there's not too many trim levels, right? So in Canada, it's ESLE, SEL, GT, and GT Premium, and they don't have the packages within them. So you just move up and down the trim level, add the paint option, freight and PDI, and you're good to go. You figured out your full MSRP price, right? Now, in basically, there's two ways how to look at it. Either you look at the base MSRP and then you add, or like whenever I refer to full MSRP, I always add that together, because to me, you can't really buy the vehicle without getting shipped to you or without actual paint on it. So it's kind of useless to look at the MSRP just at that base MSRP perspective. So that's why, to me, whenever I use MSRP or full MSRP, I look at the base price plus the paint options plus whatever freight and PDI, and that's your full selling MSRP. So in this channel right now, in this video, we'll have a look at that. So we'll have a look at a full breakdown on the fully loaded GT, and we'll figure it out what to do with it, like what's included, what you expect on top of it, and you can make a decision should you overpay for your Outlander PHEV or not. Okay, and now let's have a look at exact numbers. How would they play out? So we'll be looking at again at the 2023 PHEV Outlander GTP white. So it only comes with white, this two-tone option. So we'll have a look at this two-tone option with black roof, Canadian spec. So this is as expensive as it gets, so to speak, the best from the best. So MSRP price on this is $57,048. Okay, so that's the base MSRP, and then the white diamond color with two-tone roof option is going to be extra $900. And then freight and PDI is $1,900, at least for BC. I'm not sure about like different provinces. It's going to be a little bit more than that, but it won't be like more by a lot, so it's going to be just a little bit. But for BC, it's $1,900. So now the total selling price, or the total MSRP, comes up to 59,848. And then what we do is we add the PST on it. So the provincial sales tax is going to be $5,704.50, and the GST is going to be $2,852.40. So then your new total with taxes comes to $65,605.20. So by the way, all these numbers that we're talking about here, you can go to Mitsubishi official build and price website. You can click on trim levels and everything else, and you'll see the exact breakdown, right? But I'm just explaining in a little bit different way here. And now basically, once you have this, your new total with taxes and everything else, we deduct the government rebate. So we deduct the $5,000 provincial rebate and $2,000 $5,000 federal and $2,000 provincial, and those are taxable rebates. That's why you pay tax and then you deduct those rebates, right? So the federal is $5,000, and this one here is up to $2,000, right? So we'll assume you qualify for $2,000. So then you take this less this, it's a math, $7,000 less. So your new total comes to $58,605.20. So this would be your new total with all the MSRP, with total MSRP plus PST, GST. That's your total less both rebates, and this is how much you pay out of your pocket with taxes and with all rebates applied. So now the question is what's next, and this is where it gets interesting. So MSRP stands for manufacturer suggested retail price. So it's suggested, it's not mandated by law, anything like that you have to sell it. A little while ago, when we had like hundreds of Mitsubishis in stock, like, you know, customers would come in, ask for discounts, we give them discounts, right? The game was a little bit different, so, you know, we had to give the cars away sometimes to make a deal, right? And right now, especially with PHEVs, is a little bit different, right? So a lot of dealerships are like adding this market adjustment and everything else, and this is where we're going to talk about it right now, right? So essentially, this is your price. You know how much it would cost from the factory, so to speak, right? And now here's what we basically do, right? So what else dealership can add to this, right? So there could be some fees, which a lot of those fees, they're reasonable, and it's kind of like a standard across like all platforms now and all manufacturers. So almost basically everybody's adding the fees. As long as they're reasonable, we're not going to be worried too much, right? So then the second thing what could be added is accessories. So accessories, I'm personally a big believer of good value accessories that are well priced. So I've done on this channel a lot of do-it-yourself install videos. We modified a lot of Outlanders to off-road editions. I'm a big believer to those nice looking accessories, hood emblems, side moldings, right? Maybe mud guards, maybe like all-weather floor mats. As long as they're like priced right, there's nothing wrong with that. So now the third part is what I get basically, you know, the most comments on and the most like issues around it. It's we're gonna call it MSRP markup. Mark up, or market adjustment, whatever they called it, right? So basically, this is where it gets very tricky. Now, our dealership, you know, chose not to mark any vehicles up, even though we could. And what can you do about it if you're dealing with some other dealerships? Well, that's basically a conversation to have, but there's not much in terms of like a buyer. You can influence the dealer, so if they say, hey, like, you know, we're gonna mark it up a certain amount, you know, there's not much you can do. So it is, you know, I've heard some insane numbers from people leaving the comments. Some say 2, 4, 5, some $10,000. It's like, you know, I don't know, like I haven't personally verified. That's just something I read in comments, and that's why I wanted to make this video to basically clarify how we get to the MSRP price, how the taxes play into the rebates and everything else, and what else could be potentially added. So for those people who have placed a deposit in dealership, waited for a year and a half just to find out that there's going to be a market adjustment or a markup on MSRP, I truly feel bad for you, but there's not much we can do. So our dealership here, again, decided not to do any markups. So if you already placed your order with our dealership, you're in good hands, so to speak. You're not going to be charged anything over the MSRP. If you are thinking about placing an order once, so you can definitely call our store, stop by, or if you're a, you know, out of town client, or I personally process few deposits from Alberta as well, you can visit mrmitsubishi.ca. There's a contact section. You can just fill out your contact information and I'll get back to you. We'll chat about it. So there we go. Definitely that's it. So I hope this kind of like simple math of total MSRP, the taxes added, total price, less the rebates, and your total all in helps you a little bit understand like what's going on and like, you know, how much you should be like paying for vehicles and whatnot. So then fees, accessories, and the nasty one, the MSRP markup or market adjustment, right? That's something to expect. That's something to talk about your local dealership before you place your order, or maybe, you know, if you've been waiting for some time, maybe they can figure something out for you, given your special circumstances that you waited so long. So again, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope this helps a little bit. If you have any questions, please leave a comment. I try to answer to as many comments as possible. Send me an email as well so we can get connected, and we'll get you that PHEV. So thanks again for watching, and see you next videos.